All right, let's just jump right into it. So imagine this. You're an astronaut. You're on a mission, everything goes perfectly, you dock with the International Space Station, and then boom, you find out you're not coming home. At least, not when you were supposed to. Well, that is exactly what just happened to veteran NASA astronaut Sunita Williams.
I mean, that quote right there from Williams herself, it just throws you right into the middle of the crisis, doesn't it? What was supposed to be a 10-day test flight on Boeing's brand new Starliner spacecraft, yeah, that just turned into an indefinite stay in orbit. The entire plan was just gone.
So, what even goes through your mind at that point? Is it just sheer panic, fear, or hope? That's what we're really going to dig into here. We're going to break down that unique mindset. The one that allows someone to not just survive when things go catastrophically wrong, but to actually thrive. Okay, so first things first, let's look at what actually happened that triggered all of this. And look, this wasn't just some minor glitch. We're talking about a series of pretty serious system failures on a brand new spacecraft.
5. Just let that number sink in. 5 thrusters failed while they were approaching the ISS. And in case you're wondering, yeah, those are the small engines that steer the capsule. So losing 5 of them while you're trying to park next to a space station, that is, to put it mildly, really not good. And this is where you see this fascinating disconnect. Down here on Earth, the whole narrative was about danger and despair, right? You saw headlines everywhere talking about them being stuck in space. But up there, Williams' reality was completely different. She said she never lost hope, not for a second, because she knew thousands of people back on the ground were already working the problem. So where does that kind of unshakable resilience come from? I mean, a person isn't just born with it, right? It doesn't happen overnight. For Suni Williams, it was something forged over a whole lifetime of pushing through boundaries. And it often started with this feeling that she didn't quite fit in. And I just find this so humanizing. You know? Here's one of the most accomplished astronauts in history, and she's just openly admitting to a lifetime of insecurity. And the secret, she says, isn't about not feeling insecure. It's about acknowledging that feeling is there and then just pushing through it anyway. And her path to becoming an astronaut, it was anything but straightforward. She grew up feeling like a bit of an outsider. She wasn't great at academics, really struggled with written tests. But when it came to practical, hands-on work, that's where she absolutely shined. And this part is crucial. When she was faced with the tragic loss of the space shuttle Columbia and her friend who was on board, Kalpana Chawla, her reaction wasn't fear. Not at all. It was this fierce determination to carry on their mission. And you absolutely need that kind of determination, because in space, a crisis isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And believe me, the Starliner incident, that was not her first brush with disaster. Okay, let me walk you through this other one, because it is intense. An alarm just screams them awake in the middle of the night. A satellite has exploded, disintegrated, and the ISS is flying straight into the debris field. The order comes down, get to your safe haven spacecraft. Now. They have 45 minutes. And in that time, they hug each other and they say, hopefully I'll see you on Earth. Can you imagine just this quiet, surreal moment where they're facing the very real possibility that this is... Now, they're calm in moments like these. It's not some accident. It's not luck. It is the product of just relentless training. When somebody asked her how many failure scenarios they plan for, she just said, hundreds? They spend years and years with mission control, just thinking through every possible thing that could go wrong, so that when something new happens, something they didn't expect, the process of how to solve a problem is already second nature. Okay, so this brings us to the core of it. What are the actual mental tools that let astronauts function under this kind of insane pressure? Well, it really all boils down to one key technique. It's called compartmentalization. Think about it. When those 5 thrusters failed, she didn't let her mind spiral out about the enormous, terrifying problem of how do we get home? That's way too big. The only problem that mattered right then and there was how do we dock safely with the space station? You solve one small piece at a time. It's exactly like in the movie The Martian, right? You solve one problem, then you solve the next one, then the next one. And that's such a powerful tool, not just for astronauts, but for any of us really, when we're facing a challenge that just feels impossible. And this quote, this really captures the attitude that underpins everything. So on her very first spacewalk, she lost a camera. A simple mistake, but a really costly one. And what do? You can't just dwell on it. You can't just sit there and be sad about it. You just have to accept what happened, take stock of what you have left to work with, and move on to the next task. Period.
But this mindset isn't just about survival. It's also what opens you up to the truly profound experience of actually living in space. And that is a sensory journey that is just unlike anything here on Earth. I mean, living up there is just a whole world of strange sensations. The space station itself, it pops and creaks as it heats up and cools down in the sun. If you cry, your tears don't fall. They just form this watery ball on your eye. And when she finally came back to Earth, the very first thing she noticed was this powerful, overwhelming smell of dirt and sage, the smell of a living planet. It's details like that that really make you understand the experience, So after all of that, after the danger, the long months away from home, the absolutely breathtaking views, what's the one big lesson you bring back with you? What's the ultimate takeaway from an experience like that? Well, it's this. After she came home, she was just flooded with messages of support from total strangers all over the world. We're talking people from every nationality, every political belief, every religion, all of them just happy that she was back safely. And that's when she realized her biggest lesson wasn't about engineering or orbital mechanics. It was that fundamentally, people are good, that deep down we really do care about each other. And it's a perspective that maybe you can only truly get when you've seen all of humanity all at once from a great distance.